Do it one more time. It's our third lighting. One more lighting. So it's like 4 lightings in one turn. Just like that. 20 damage, easy. And don't forget, you got 2 double offhand attacks. So you can make 2 more attacks. Just like that. Attacking once with Divine Smite 3. Second attack. Third attack. Fourth attack. 7th. Oh my god. But it's not over. Hail and Matches Adventures. Today we're diving deep into Baldur's Gate 3. And as always, straight to the point. So first one I would name Eldritch Storm, Stormbringer, or just Raiden build, whatever you like more. For every build today you can play as origin character by yourself, or you can respec your companions. That's why you probably will need some of these multiclasses when you're playing and you want to enjoy your companions even more. So for this Raiden build we go in with Lae'zel, or Gale is our main class, but I would suggest starting with Lae'zel because she's fighter. So let's create our custom character and I will explain everything that is important. So most important stuff is to start as fighter at level 1, because as fighter you will gain access to heavy armor and shields. So for our race, pick whatever you like more. Nice pick could be dwarf, especially gold dwarf for extra HP, but I will go with more stylistic approach and go with half elf, and especially with half elf to just get a little bit more movement speed. Nothing special here. For fighting style we're picking defense. Background is not important, so maybe just pick soldier. Skills, whatever you like. I like perception and maybe a little bit of acrobatics, but we will have a really weird ability point distribution. And by the way, you can actually just pick some points that is like nice for fighter, just use recommended, whatever you like. And then you respec at around level 5, because your initial class will be completely changed when we level up and finish our build. And that's true for every build today, so basically I will explain you our late game stats initially, what you need to do for this build. So main attributes will be charisma and constitution. We 100% dumping wisdom and dexterity, and we can have some strength, and we can have some int if you need it. So our finished points will be looking like this. We got like 14 strength with +1, 0 dexterity, 17 constitution with +2, a little bit int, 12 exactly, and 15 in charisma. Or you can just dump a little bit more int and take some wisdom, so you will be pretty balanced character. So let's go into the build. So we start as fighter, and let's build our multiclass. There are different ways you can go with this build, but if you're starting from scratch and want to level up your character with this stat distribution from the start of the game, I recommend to pick 2 levels in a fighter first and exactly 3 levels. So we're going to Eldritch Knight subclass, and exactly 3 levels, so we're going to Eldritch Knight subclass. We're gaining access to some cantrips, and what we're focusing today, look on his head, of course, it will be any lighting or tempest damage. So Shocking Gasp is okay, and Minor Illusion will be nice because we don't have high intelligence, so just pick whatever will work in more like unique and utility way. So for our spells we're picking Shield and Witch Bolt, and for one more spell we're picking Utility Long Strider. Finished build will be with 4 levels in Fighter, but this level will be only for choosing your feat. So after 3 levels in Fighter we're starting to multiclass. And by doing this so early in the game, we can lose power on around level 5, because on level 5 we got different nice power spikes in all characters. But we can definitely go around this with picking our Cleric as our subclass first, and we're going with Tempest Domain Cleric. So Deity is not meta, and for Cleric spell you can pick whatever utility spell you want, but don't go for concentration spell, you will need concentration on other stuff. You can pick like Create or Destroy Water or Guiding Bolt, whatever you like. For cantrips, again, it doesn't matter, so it's like Guidance, Light, Produce Flame. But most interesting feature for us with Tempest Domain Cleric is our subclass feature Wrath of the Storm. I guess it's a Wrath of the Storm. So when we're getting attacked, we're potentially dealing from 2 to 16 damage of lightning damage or thunder damage. So we're like really god of lighting. And we want 2 levels in Tempest Domain Cleric. So just 2nd level in Tempest Domain Cleric will give us subclass feature Destructive Wrath. And we can use our Channel Divinity to deal maximum damage with our lighting or thunder damage spell. So that's how we counter our a little bit weak fighter at this level. So how to play this fighter on early to mid levels? You start today with casting Long Strider on yourself. It's ritual, it doesn't require any spell slots, and most important stuff to go into inventory, into spellbook, into reaction. And you basically want all your level 1 spell slots to be used for shield, so you just turn off every shield you have in this category. And make sure every other reaction is checked and you got this ask feature. So you can, as Eldritch Knight, bond with your weapon, so when you bound it, you can basically throw it and it will come back to your hands. Fun feature. And that's basically how you want to play your fights. You got nice movement speed with this race, sub-race, and Long Strider, so we can travel 14 meters without any dash. That's nice movement speed. And you can use your basic attack, or most importantly, you can use your Witch Bolt for our level 1 spell slot. And you always will try to upcast it for level 2, so you can target 2 creatures. And if you need additional damage, you can use this Destructive Rest, but be careful, it uses your Divinity Charge, so it can be used only one time per battle. Use it on like targets that you really need. So you always can press Do Not React. And coolest feature that you can use your action surge in the battle. So you can do it 2 times in 1 turn. Basically you just casted this Witch Bolt, then you can go and cast it 1 more time on a target. And if you hit in this target, you can use Destructive Rest if you need it and hit for maximum damage of 24 damage. So it's pretty reasonable and nice damage output for these levels. And don't forget you got your bonus action, so if you got some bonus actions with your weapon, so you can use them on this turn too. Or there's nice second to wind, and you will heal yourself for 1d10 plus 5. So if you're in danger, you can at least be self-sustainable. If targets attack you, you just use your shield and dismiss their powers. But most importantly, this Witch Bolt will be active for 10 turns between you and your enemy. So basically you can recast it each turn without using your spell slots. But it uses concentration, that's why my build have a lot of constitution in it. And in case of emergency, of course you can use your Chandra Wave to just push enemies away. Not always useful. Is it always important to use your shield? No. Try to use this spell slots when you're low on HP, because just before you can use this Breath of the Storm to react with 2d8 damage to enemies' attacks. And yeah, even with low intelligence, you get this 2d8 from your cantrip, Shocking God, so it's useful too. For equipment on this level, basically go for shield, heavy armor, and any weapon you like. Probably that have some bonus actions. And let's finish our build. So right now we're changing our class to Sorcerer. And most importantly, we're going for Storm Sorcery. And this will unlock us Tempestuous Magic. And that's great, and basically our build is kinda finished at this stage. So for your spells, you want on this level to pick same spells that you know, just because they will use different ability modifiers. So when you pick in the spells from Sorcerer spellbook, they will use Charisma. So just like that. For cantrips, again, nothing actually matters. Just pick whatever you like. Just make sure you pick this Storm Sorcery. And just on this level, so it basically character level 6, we can use any spell of level 1 or even more. And after we use any spell, we can use Flight as bonus action. So now we became this really cool and strong and awesome guy who looks like Raiden and can fly around the battlefield. So to wrap up our build, we can pick 1 more level in Fighter to finish this stuff. Spells doesn't matter because Eldritch Knight spells uses Wisdom for spell casting, so it's like pick whatever you like, mostly focus on some like utility spells. So you even can pick like Feather Fall or something like this. And basically you just need your ability improvement to make 18 in Constitution and 16 in Charisma. And just like that, we just completely switching into Sorcerer. Next spell that we pick Magic Missile, because it's like the spell that don't care about your attributes at all. It got increased damage from Charisma, of course, but it doesn't care do you hit target or not, because it's like 100% hit rate. And for our class passives, we now get access to Meta Magic. And we go for Twin Spell and Distance Spell at first level, then we continue leveling up. And on this level we want to use Quickened Spell. For our spell of choice we're using Hold Person, we get into level 10 and Sorcerer level 4. We're getting one more cantrip, we don't care about this cantrip, we're getting one more spell, and we kinda don't care about this spell, but we can use this Gust of Wine. And we're getting additional feat, so for now we can use ability improvement to just get more charisma, to increase our damage output. We can use Warcaster to have advantage on saving throws to maintain concentration. It's really big feat for our character. But just because our character is so invested in this shocking damage, I like to go for Elemental Adept and use Elemental Adept Lighting, so we don't care about resistances of our enemies. And now we're going to Sorcerer level 5, this will unlock us level 3 spells, and we're getting Lighting Bolt. That's where our build is totally finished and it's like incredibly strong. For our last spell, you can pick whatever you like. Don't forget, you're really invested in some electricity spells, and we don't have a lot of electricity spells right now. And this is the place in our build when you need to pick your choice. So we can finish as Sorcerer level 6, and we will gain access to Thunder Wave, Create Destroy Water, and Gust of Wind. But most importantly, Call Lighting. That's our bread and butter spells. That's what we will use a lot. Additionally, we get this Heart of the Storm, so all enemies within 6 meters will take 3 lightning damage or 3 thunder damage when you casting your spell. So while this is nice features and great spells, we already know 3 spells, and it's actually our latest level, so we can basically go and respec our character, but we can go and dump one class into the wizard. So basically we get in one level in the wizard, and we don't care about anything that we get from the wizard beside one thing. So by choosing one level of wizard, you gain access to learning spells from spell scrolls, and basically you can learn any spell in the game. And while it can sound really nice and kinda smart, every spell that you will learn from wizard will use intelligence, and we are high charisma character. That's why we're going into level 6 Storm Sorcerer to finish our build. So we don't care about spells, just make sure not to take any concentration spells. And let's go and show you how you can play this build. So as always, start your game with Long Strider on yourself. And I start this fight hasted, so you just move and your bread and butter spell is Call Lighting. It's doing 3d10 damage on its 3rd level. But we will cast it on our max level spell slot, which is spell slot from level 5. So we can just go and cast this spell. Coolest feature when you're using your Haster, and here we will use this Destructive Breath. You gain additional actions. So while you cast it only one time, this spell, Call Lighting, you can use it as activate Call Lighting one more time without using any spell slot. So we can do it one more time. And just because we are fighter, we're using Action Surge. So let's go, and it's our 3rd lighting. And in one turn, I guess we can go and use one more lighting. So it's like 4 lightings in one turn. Just like that. Look at this pathetic guys. Now we need to just keep our concentration, so best way to do it is to not be attacked, and that's where we get this shield spell. So while we have the sorcery points, we can use this magic one time, then we can use one more of this lighting stuff. We can even come closer. Don't forget, when you're standing nearby your enemies, you can use this quicken spell. So we get 3 lightning strikes in one turn again. And you want to be nearby your enemies all the time. So for our 6 sorcery points, we can do it 2 times. So we can make around 4 lightings on turn 1, 3 lightings on 2nd turn, and on all next turns we will have ability to get only 2 lightings. But I guess there's really high probability that you already get rid about most annoying enemies with this AoE spell. So you can continue your game with casting this activated lighting while you keeping your concentration, and it will be always level 5 spell slot, and that's like best thing that you possibly can do. And just because we are Storm Sorcerer of level 6, we get resistance to lighting damage, and we can cast it on ourselves. So as you can see, we're still succeeding with our concentration. And that's basically our game plan. Just in case everything going not our way, we can use Second Wind to heal ourselves. And in case someone attacking us, we can use our shield spell to react and force them to miss. So this will be like best stuff for us to keep concentration on the spell and cast it for around 15 times in one battle. Just something like this. So we can cast it every turn for like 10 turns. We can be casted all the time if someone cast Haste on us. So just like that. But just in case you need to do something else, you can use your Witch Bolt, for example, to upcast it to level 4 to again get with the enemy. Or you can use this Lightning Bolt. It will create this lighting area and attack enemies nearby. So coolest part, they will receive damage from your passive, don't forget about it. And just after that you can use your Tempestuous Magic Fly, so you can just go and fly away from them and retreat with high movement speed. That's like greatest part over here. So we are really mobile, really tanky, crazy fighter, Stormbringer. And this activate lighting will stay on us anyway, so we can use Lightning Bolt every time we just need it. If we need to escape a little bit, just cast the spell and escape. And you can use it as escaping tool and at the same time as attacking tool to chase your enemies. And yeah, don't forget, we got additional Twin Spell and Distance Spell. Distance Spell will increase range of our magic, and Twin Spell will make some magic that will focus only on one person, will focus on 2 person instead. So even your cantrip like Shocking Grasp can attack 2 persons if they stand in nearby. But make sure to pick right attribute that you will cast it. So Charisma is definitely high percentage hit, so we're picking Charisma, and if you need max damage you can use Destructive Wrath and attack double max damage. So that's our basic gameplay loop. You just call Lighting, then call more Lighting, then move a little bit, of course, just a little bit, to use your Action Surge, to call more Lighting, and don't forget we can spell for a little bit more Lighting.